Hey there, Spanily. It's Angie Atkinson, and today is Talk to Me Tuesday, and here I am for our second session of the day. So let's talk, shall we? All right. So while I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me remind you that my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Sound good? If so, hit that subscribe button and let's get going. All right. So, how is everybody feeling this afternoon? We had a great session with Brad this morning for the Empath Show. Hello, David H., Angel Valentine, Malta, Dima. How are you guys doing? I am so happy to see all of you. I say, let's just jump right in and see how everybody's feeling, see what you got going on. Gail Catrice is here. And Rose Hargrove in the house. Nancy Marin is here. Hello, hello, everybody. Nargis says, hello, hello, a friend, sister. How are you? I'm great. How are you, honey? Just got done with work. She says, hey, today is my second son's 29th birthday. Well, happy birthday to him. She said he is busy this week, but next week I'm going to make a sumptuous meal and have my kids over. I love it. I love seeing you with your kids, Nargis. It's a beautiful thing, my friend. Great news. Electric in the house. Hey, Electric, how you doing? Tommy D says, hey there, Big Red. Yeah, I'm all the red today. All the red. That's all, yeah. um, oh, boy. Admantha Christians is here. Hello, Admantha. How are you? Chardell is here. Hey, Chardell, how you doing? And let's see here. We have Farrah Palms is sad. Sad. Tell me what's going on, Sarah Palms. Farrah Palms, I'm so sorry. Casey Forgets in the house. She says, good morning, Angie. I'm sure I know the answer to this, but is name calling abuse or could it be a mistake? Also, he hit me while sleeping. Has confirmed night terrors, but might be in denial today. All right. Hitting you while sleeping, I mean, maybe once or twice would be an occasional thing, but I don't really see that as something that is a regular thing in most relationships. Name calling is not a mistake. You know, I don't ever accidentally call my children names. Or, name calling is and can be defined as abuse, especially when combined with other types of controlling behaviors. Casey, I think you know the answer. You're absolutely right. And I'm glad that you came in to check in with me on this because I know you're struggling, but don't deny yourself the truth. You know what the truth is, don't you? Hello, Nia Franklin. How are you? She says, hey, Angie. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Let's see. We have Real Estate Girl in the house. Hey, Real Estate Girl. How you doing? Good to see you. I lost my place. Okay, here we go. All right. And we have Brian Scott. Hey, Brian Scott. How you doing? He says, hello, and thank you for everything. My pleasure. Happy to see you. And Malta says, hello, I'm doing well this afternoon. Afternoon coffee with the tribe is always a pleasure. Yeah, and I forgot to get my dang coffee, but I do have my water, so that's something. Tracy Elizabeth Chavot is here. Hey, Tracy, how are you? And Carrie Parker in the house. She says, hello, so glad to finally be on a live chat with you. Well, I'm very happy to have you, Miss Carrie Parker. Welcome. And Ashley Thrasher in the house. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? And Bonnie says, hey, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie, how you doing? Pai, hello from Finland. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Tell me how to say Pai hi, maybe? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Nargis says, oh, wow, pretty in red, my favorite color. Oh, I love it. Thank you. And Debbie Lee says, I updated my Facebook profile. That really got her. Now, as she's posting and trying to talk to me, what should I do? Don't talk to her. Block her. Should I go into more detail? You've got to block her, Debbie, because the fact of the matter is it's going to drive you crazy if you continue to allow her to contact you. If you're done with her, go no contact, save yourself the trouble. If you're dealing with children or some other sort of legal issue, then you still don't have to deal with her on Facebook. You can just talk to her through text or some other kind of app. You don't need to deal with her on Facebook. I would block her, block her, block her. Should I say it again? Block her. Okay. Jessica Rose says, hello, I'm fine. I'm glad I'm finally catching a live show. Well, hello, Jessica. How are you, my friend? Welcome, welcome. And Mr. ATL Black 11 says, hi, Angie. Hey, hey, how you doing? Or is it Block 11? I'm just going to say Mr. ATL. Hey, Mr. ATL, how you doing? Hey, look, it's Jamie B. Hey, girl. Hey, we were asking about you this morning, wondering where you were. I'm glad to see you. How are you doing? What's going on? Where's your head? Where's your life? Talk to me. Debbie Lee says, feel it before me. She was trying to make me jealous and not posting. That's right. Or liking anything on my Facebook. Well, now all of a sudden she's liking and posting nice things. Oh, well, here's what's probably happening. Whatever supplies she was involved with during the time that she wasn't posting is probably no longer interesting to her, or has moved on, or has discarded her, or she has discarded them because they aren't providing good supply. So if I'm you and I'm thinking, do I want to be somebody's backup plan? I'm thinking, no, I don't. Do you? Do you want to be her backup plan? Because I think you're better than that, Debbie. Tell me what you think. Um, Marie Halsey is here, says, hello, beautiful. Well, hello, beautiful, right back at you, girl. How you doing? And Tamara Lynn says, hey, Jamie B. Kirsten Mills says, hi, all. Hey, Kirsten, welcome back, honey. And Malta says, I'm happy for you, and I'm very glad to hear it, Jamie B. Yes, indeed. Did I miss Jamie B's comment? Jamie B. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of comments. Hold on, I'm scrolling back up, y'all. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. All right, let's see here. Good to see you. She's Malta says to Jamie. Okay. Farah says, I'm tired of my cheating narcissist lying to what I can do. I understand that completely. What you can do is leave a cheating narcissist. You don't have to be in the process. You don't have to accept being cheated on. Farah, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Frankie Robertson says, hi, Angie. I'm excited. I just got a copy of your book. I can't wait to engage. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited that he got the book Alive Inside. Excellent, excellent. I'm so happy to hear it. Let me know how it goes. I can't wait to hear it. Shannon O'Brien says, hello, tribe. Hey, Shannon. How you doing, girl? And Tommy D says, hey, J, baby. Frankie Robertson says, hey, crew. Hey, Frankie. And Nargis says, from the internet, dear X, thank you for making me realize I can do so much better without you in my life. Yes, hands up, everybody. All right. Bonnie says, Jamie B, I'm so glad you're here. Frankie Robertson says, back for another dose. Welcome back. I'm always happy to have you, Frankie. Regina McDonald says, hiya, everybody. Hey, Regina. How you doing, honey? Welcome, welcome. And Bonnie says, tribe. Love it, Shannon. Right? It's our tribe. We can admit it. It's okay. Val Kyrie says, hello. I am wondering, hey, Val, if I'm in a narcissist relationship, but we aren't even dating, and yet I still can't let go of trying to make the person like me. I want to fix it because I always want to fix it because she's been abused. Okay. So is this someone who is like a friend, or I assume? This is what I think. It is possible that, in fact, she was abused. It is also possible that, in fact, she's a narcissist. Unfortunately, in some cases, people become narcissists because of certain types of abuse in their life. If she is not showing you any empathy, then chances are high that she's a narcissist. Can you give me a little bit of information about her specifically that will help me to help you? Let me know, Val. Shannon O'Brien says, my concern is my mother would call CPS about us. She used to talk often about kids at school and her obligation to report, though I don't know if she ever did. Our house is a mess due to our concentrating on Ma, followed by the challenges of no contact. Working on that. Any other suggestions? I would stay no contact. I would keep lots of documentation, and I would also remember that you are not required to let them in your house when they show up. So you can say, you know what, I'm really busy right now. Let's do this another time if they do show up, and then clean your house. And they'll call you and schedule an appointment. So that's something to think about. Another option, is to just pay somebody to come in and do it for you. You could probably pay, a friend or a local company even a few bucks to come in and organize. Like I recently paid someone to come in and organize my children's rooms because I'm not good at organizing. And so it wasn't that expensive, and it was so worth it. So if you have if you know another mom who you trust well enough, who you could do a stay-at-home mom thing, pay her $100 to come in and do some organization or whatever, do it, or pay a company to do it, or just, start one little space at a time and work on it. I think if you continue to worry about it, it's going to be a problem. My biggest thing would be two things. Try not to focus on it. Try to just focus on being a good mom to your kids, which I know you're doing. And number two, just do what you can in the house and remember that you can always tell them you're busy right now, you can't see them, but you would be happy to make an appointment for them to come and talk to you if they come to your door. That has been that would be my biggest suggestion. And your mess may be different than the kind of mess that would be having children taken from you. Like we're talking, you know, they're I know they look for food. They want to see food in the house. They want, healthy, relatively healthy food that will feed the children, stocked up. They want to see that the children have clean clothes to wear, that their rooms are relatively livable, that the rest of the house is relatively, they don't want to see a bunch of trash or biohazards around the house. But I mean, I know you're a good mom. I know you take your kids to church, you take your kids to school, they're doing all the right things. There's no reason that CPS would ever take your kids, but it is obviously important to show them a good front or whatever, give them a good impression if they do show up. So those would be my two suggestions. If anybody else has suggestions for Shannon O'Brien, let us know because I'm very interested in those ideas. Bonnie says she's good. Good news, good news. Farrah Palm says, my narc keeps cheating and getting caught. Oh, why are you still with that person, Farrah? Is it because you feel like you don't deserve better? Because I really feel like if you don't want to be with a cheater, then you have an obligation to yourself to pull away from this one. What are your thoughts? Narga says, my ex demanded that I allow him to call me a biazit, a bad word in bed. How disrespectful. Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad that you didn't put up with it, Nargis, because it is disrespectful. Everybody has different turn-ons and desires, but the fact of the matter is it has to be something that both parties agree to, or it isn't enjoyable, and it's not fair. So Ricky Hess says, hey everybody. Hey Ricky, how you doing? And Mr. ATL says, I have a question. I confronted a flying monkey. It was disastrous and dramatic, but I noticed they leave you alone afterward. And what is your question? Yeah, certainly it can be dramatic, certainly it can be disastrous, and they often play or are clueless. They do sometimes leave you alone afterward, and that's great. But sometimes they don't understand what they're in the middle of. And so if you just say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but this person abused me and this is what I went through, so why would you help this person? Every now and then you might have a decent person that really didn't realize and just stands back. Tell me a little more information, Mr. ATL. Frankie Robertson says, happy birthday to the 29-year-old son of Ms. Nargis. And Malta says, hey, Ricky, good afternoon. Tamara Lynn says, hey, Angie. Hey, Tamara. I stayed with the narc for almost 3 weeks. Why can't I get it through my head what he is? I'm always making excuses for his behavior. Well, sweetie, because none of us want to believe that that's what they are. We were led to believe one thing, and I don't know how to verbalize this very well, but very often for me, like it's really hard for me to imagine that I really went through that thing that everybody's talking about, or that it really went down the way it did. And what it boils down to, Tamara, is that we have a high threshold for abuse. And so we question ourselves and we go, was I really abused, or is this something else? Am I misunderstanding something here? Maybe I'm just overreacting. And that's partially also because of the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing they do, the ups and the downs, the roller coaster ride. It becomes familiar to us. And when we're on the upswing and things are good, we're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I was way overreacting. Everything is so much better now. And then when it starts going down the hill again, we're like, oh crap, I just remembered this is what it was. Which is why I suggest writing down the reasons that you want to leave and keeping them and remembering to look at them, especially when you have those feelings of, was I wrong? Am I crazy? What's going on here? Yeah. Jamie B says, Tommy, Malta, Bonnie, I'm glad to come say hi, friends. I'm doing great. Weird, I know. It is not weird. It's beautiful. Tell me more. What's going on, girl? We missed your beautiful face. Jessica Rose says, I'm after a comprehensive, clear explanation or list that I can write down that explains why the silent treatment and sudden unexplained discarding of someone close qualifies as psychological abuse. Okay. This is funny because I literally just recorded a video about this, sort of, about the other side of this, about going no contact and why we should not feel guilty about it, because it does qualify as psychological abuse in some cases. If you're looking for an explanation or a list, um, I'm not going to be able to do that for you right now as far as a specific list, but the explanation is that you lead someone to believe that you're with them, you're on their side, you're married to them, or you're in a very close relationship with them, and then going no contact with that person who's done nothing but treat you kindly or try to be close to you and try to be with you is a whole other ball of wax. A comprehensive, clear explanation is, it's hard to explain it. That's terrible. But why the silent treatment qualifies is because it is literally, if you think about, one of the ways they torture people is they put them like in a room with no stimulus. It's like one of the worst things you could do to a person, like in a dark room with no sound, no light, no nothing. It turns them into something else. And in a way, by removing yourself from a person with an unexplained discard and the silent treatment, it leaves that person with absolutely no closure, no understanding of the reason. And you might think that person's dead. You could be traumatized by it, lots and lots of things. But I guess we would have to go into a little bit more detail as to the situation. Are you doing this for like a report or something, or a blog post, or what? I can find you some more information after this. I've done videos on this before. I've done many blog posts on it as well. I would have to get some. I'm going to keep going for now, but let me know if you have other specific questions that I can answer that maybe clarify your intent a little bit. Shannon O'Brien says, block, block, block. Yeah, for our Facebook friend. Yes, I agree. Marie Halsey here. Hello, Marie. She says, hello, beautiful. Hello, hello. Tamara Lynn says, hey, Jamie. Kirsten Mill says, hi, all. Okay, here we go. Bonnie says, hey, best tribe around. Yes, indeed, my friend. Oh, dang it. I lost my place again. Hold on. Why does it do that? I wish it would just understand that I wasn't trying to scroll all the way to the bottom. All right, here we go. Now it keeps cheating. Okay. All right, and Shannon O'Brien. Okay, Marie Halsey, Tamara Lynn. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. Jessica Rose says, by the way, you are amazingly clear and helpful yet real about this topic. Thank you. She says, you do help people and you've helped me for sure. Thank you, and thank you. I appreciate you. Tommy D says, Nargis, they're so driven by lustful desires instead of love. I'm glad you recognize the difference. Yes, indeed, my friend. Absolutely the truth. And we kind of talked about that a little bit this morning, the whole infatuation versus love factor. Yeah. Prakara says, what is unbearably painful is when friends of years and even decades turn so quickly and become narc agents to enjoy our suffering. Sometimes strangers prove to be better. Strange. True. Yeah. And it is shocking. And even more shocking, I think, is when it's family members or people, just anyone, like you said, friends, anyone that you think you can trust, and suddenly they're on someone else's side and you're totally floored and blown away. And that's why I think that I have a relatively small circle of, very close friends, because I know very well who I can trust and who I can't. So you learn, and it sucks, but you do. Malta says, hi, Kirsten Mills. Good afternoon to you. Farrah Palm says, Angie, did you see why I'm sad? Yeah, because you were being cheated on, and I think that's terrible. Have you thought about leaving? What's stopping you, Farrah? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I don't mean to say that it's so easy, okay? But I know everybody's got to have deal breakers. For me, and a deal breaker in my world is this. It is, if anything outside of the deal breakers happen, we can talk about it and maybe we can work it out, maybe not. A deal breaker means it's off, almost beyond my control. It's like, these are my limits. So one of those, number one, is don't cheat on me. Number two, don't hit me. Number three, don't hurt my kids. Everybody has to have deal breakers. Those are mine. So that's why I seem kind of weird about this. But tell me why you would, are you planning to stay with this person? Do you think you can fix them? What's holding you back from leaving, Farah? Is it something else? Admantha Christian says, I've been no contact for a month. Congratulations. Congratulations. She says, but it's hard because I found out I was pregnant with my next child, our second child together. How do I stay strong? I feel really strongly that he's not fit to parent. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I mean, first of all, a baby is a joyous thing, even when the parentage isn't great. So congratulations on the baby. But I do totally understand where you're coming from here. And I think that you probably already know that you don't want this person to parent your child because you don't want your child to be raised substandardly, right? So what I suggest is if you feel really strongly that he's not fit to parent, you know for sure that he is somebody that can't grow and change, then you stay strong for your children. My child was my catalyst, unfortunately, and he was the reason that I was able to go away and stay away. And later, with my parent situation, it was also my children that caused me to be strong enough to go away and stay away. Um, so you have that gift of those children, and I want you to just look into their faces, and or the one's face that's here already, and think to yourself, do I want my child to grow up and be like this person? Do I want my child to be parented by this person and potentially become a narcissist or worse, a damaged soul? In either case, it's not good. Do I want my children to think it's okay to be in a relationship with someone who abuses me? Do I want that's one way to be strong. Another way to be strong is to stay focused on what you want and not what you don't want. Being a single mom is not going to be easy. I've done it. It's hard. I only did it with one kid. It was hard. But if you don't move forward now, who's to say you won't end up with kid number 3 and number 4 and number 5, and then you'll really be stuck, Stay strong because you know that you and your children deserve better. Stay strong because you are, from what I can see in your little picture here, a beautiful woman, and you deserve to be happy and you deserve to be loved. And there's just absolutely nobody in the world that's going to give you that except for yourself now. And now you are responsible for 2 other lives. And I know it ain't easy. I know. Trust me. But you deserve it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved. And until you love yourself enough to not accept abuse for yourself or for your children, you will never find what you're looking for. So start there, honey. Start right there. Love yourself and love your children enough to say, nope, I'm not accepting that crap in my life anymore. And I won't accept it from my children either. That is my suggestion. Tell me if that helped at all or if I'm way off base for you. Let me know. All right. Jennifer Derzanowski, did I say that right? Says, good afternoon. Thank God for you. Well, thank you so much for being here, Jennifer, and welcome to our little tribe. Nia Franklin says, I have a narc mom who's now schizophrenic. Oh, Nia, honey, that is terrible. I am so sorry. That must be incredibly difficult for you. Tell me what's going on. Jay Meeby says, so things are really looking up for me, guys. I think his therapy is working. Sometimes we have little setbacks and he'll start blaming me that I've abandoned him, but we've been talking a lot. I'm glad to hear that. Are you on the mend then? You're feeling healthier and better with him? That's good news. Working through the hard stuff. Very good. Who knows? Maybe he'll heal. Maybe it's possible. Let me hear about it if it does, if it works. Rick Mash says, Jay Meeby, where have you been? Are you doing okay? I was going to hit you up this evening to check on you. Oh, Rick's so sweet. All right. Oh, look, Chanel Swan is here. Hey, Chanel, how you doing, honey? Welcome, welcome. And Chardell says, flying monkeys suck. One tried to convince my kids that the narc is broke. I had just found a bank transfer for over $8,000 and another statement for $31,000. Broke my freaking ass. Well, I hope that you informed your children of the truth and tried not to be overly angry about it to your children. It's very difficult dealing with your children when it comes to a narcissist because it is still their parent, but at the same time, you're human and that person's been abusing you. And it's not okay for someone to abuse you, and it's not okay for your children to think it's okay. So, when you're talking about something like this, I would probably be pretty irritated and angry. But I hope that if you haven't yet, I hope you tell your kids the truth, and I hope you tell them as calmly and non-emotionally as possible. I just wanted you to know that even though Aunt June told you that your dad was broke, here's what the case is according to what I just saw. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. I wouldn't even offer an explanation beyond that unless they ask for it, in which case you could try to explain to them what the dealio is. But yeah, monkeys should check facts first. Ain't that the truth? But they don't, because they're being, puppet stringed by the narcissists. Shannon O'Brien says, Nargis, that is disrespectful. Mine would use the C word. Ugh, they're sick. Yeah, for sure. Kirsten Mills says, my children told me last night that my covert narcissist mother-in-law slapped my daughter, 10 years old, a few times the last time they were in her care. We have gone no contact, but I want her to be held accountable. Well, Kirsten, it's difficult. One thing you can do is have your husband deal with your mother-in-law, or just call her up and tell her what you think. But again, is that going to help anything? I don't know, because I totally understand. I would feel furious if I were you. I in fact remember telling my mother when I was pregnant with my oldest child, if you ever lay your hand on this child, I'm coming after you, and I will tell everybody who you are and what you are. And and she didn't, that I'm aware of. But you know, I felt really strongly that I didn't want them to be physically abused by her for what I think are obvious reasons. And so I also understand that even when I find out that a child down the street punched my daughter in the face, that I feel like I want to go punch that child in the face. But I don't do it for obvious reasons. But I do. I feel that mom strength in me rise up, and I want to go hurt somebody about it. But I would never, because I know better. I would never hurt another child, obviously. And so I understand the wanting her to be held accountable. So I mean, but what is gonna happen? Are they going to arrest her for slapping your daughter? Probably not. Is CPS going to do anything? Probably not. Maybe the best thing you could do would be to file a restraining order on her and put those charges in the restraining order. I don't know that they're going to do anything about what she's done, but I do know that now you have an even better reason to go and stay no contact. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts on that. I guess my point is, I understand the need to make her be held accountable. I understand the desire, but I don't know that it's going to work. If she's truly a narcissist, she will probably play the victim role and pretend that either say they're lying, which I know that they're not, or straight up, I think she'll just lie or deny or say that your daughter overreacted, or that, exaggerated what happened, or something, and it will become a drawn out bunch of crap. And I personally would not want that in my life. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. Are you ready? A narcissist from my life previously had a photo of my family on her wall, and just Sunday or Saturday morning showed up at my house and left it. Knocked on my door and handed it to my children and said, "This is your Christmas present that you don't come pick up." Now we've been no contact for quite some time, and I went to the door and we said goodbye and closed the door, and then we came inside and opened the present, which we shouldn't have even accepted, and found that it was in fact the photo that used to hang on her wall of us. Fine, but it was clearly a passive aggressive move that was meant to intimidate or upset us or start conversation with us. And my response was no response. My husband got a little upset, and I told him not to, but he sent her a message and told her what he thought. She lied, as I told him that she would, and said, "Oh, this was, I bought it for you guys. I bought it for you guys." And which was a lie, because it had been on her wall. The dust was still in the damn picture frame. And he went back and forth with her a few times. And I said to him, finally, look, you're just giving her what she wants. And I told him exactly how she would respond, which I was correct. And finally, he stopped and blocked her on Facebook and finally was done with her. And I just, I wouldn't give it 1 ounce of my attention because I knew exactly what she was trying to do. She was trying to create conversation where, Hoover, it was a hoovering attempt. She wanted to make me mad or upset me or worry me or whatever so that I would reach out to her. And I didn't because I know better. And I don't want that crap in my life anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. Let me know your thoughts on that, Kirsten. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say about that. Um, Debbie Lee says, I'm so glad I've watched your videos and I've learned so much. I think you're a sweetheart and I thank you so much for your advice. Love you, sister. Oh, thank you so much, Debbie Lee. Love you right back. And thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Jennifer Derzanowski says, I love your lip color. It looks beautiful on you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend. David says, Shannon, why would she call CPS? In most states, it's illegal to make false claims of abuse. In Florida, it's a third-degree felony. I had no idea. I wonder if it is in Missouri, because if it is, I got some people to call the cops on or to create charges against, because that happened to me, as I've stated in a previous video. And obviously, that's why I know you don't have to let them in your house the first time they come by if you don't want to. But Farah, yes, I do one-on-one. Yes, I do, ma'am. You can go to narcissisticabuserecovery.online. That's my scheduling site, or you can go to queenbeing.com. There's a link to my scheduling site from there. Or you can contact my business manager, Melina, at melina.a.mutria, MOUTRIA, @gmail.com. And I'm thinking Malta might be putting this stuff in the chat for you as well. And Malta, thank you in advance, my friend. All right. Rick. Jamie B says, yes, friend, I've missed you. I'm good. Things are good so far, strangely enough. How's things with you and your beautiful little girl? Hey, Jamie B, I'm so happy that things are going better for you. And that's all I want to say. Keep going. If this is working, by all means. And people are on different ends of the spectrum sometimes, different parts of the spectrum. I think that it's possible for someone who maybe is a broken empath as opposed to an actual narcissist. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe there was addiction. I don't know. But what I do know is if you can fix it and it's real, more power to you. Honestly, that's great. Shannon O'Brien says, hey, Nargis. Hands up for Nargis. Ashley says, I can't tell if my ex is a narcissist or if I'm one. We used to have explosive fights, but never physical. She'd often say that I'm bipolar. She's clinically diagnosed. It's got me questioning myself. See, that's hard. People who try to make you feel crazy are sometimes narcissists, gaslighters. Has she ever shown you empathy? Has she ever cared about how you felt so much that she showed you in her actions or in the way she spoke to you or anything like that? Let me know. Faith says, hey, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hey, Faith. Good to see you, my friend. And Bonnie says, Angie, trust versus non-trust. How to get into a medium place without going too far into trust or mistrust. Hard after the horror of discovering the truth about the narcs in our lives. It is hard. And I think this is where you've got to use your intuition. There are some people in the world that you can trust. And there are some people in the world that you have to be leery of. And your gut tells you who those people are. But I'll make a video about this. I want to go into a little detail, but the fact of the matter is, never trust anyone completely until you know for sure that you can. So you start with minor trust, right? Like, okay, I'm going to meet you at this time, at this place, we're going to hang out. Well, if the person doesn't show up or they're late and they don't, say, oh, I'm running a couple minutes late, then maybe that's a ding against them. If they don't show up, that's a big ding. Maybe if you, tell them a non-secret, but something you necessarily, and you ask them, don't tell anybody that I said this, and it gets back to you, well, then there's maybe a reason not to trust them. There are so many different little things. You've got to keep a certain amount of, I don't know, they say the vault, like on the Seinfeld thing, they said, well, I'll put it in the vault. And if you put something in the vault, supposedly you'd never tell anybody. And there are certain things that you have to put in your own vault when it comes to meeting new people. And you don't share with them those parts of yourself that they could use to injure you in the future. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to necessarily share with a stranger that you've gone through a narcissistic abuse situation, because maybe later they're going to, if they are a narcissist or a toxic person, maybe later they're going to be like, oh, now I know why your husband didn't like you, or some crap like that. You know what I mean? And that's very painful and horrible. So you have to wait until you understand someone so I think what it comes down to is you go in with the expectation that, you know, like you say, a medium place of trust. If you're not getting any red flags from them and you don't have any weird feelings in your stomach when they're around and you feel generally positive about them, then go in with a real superficial level of trust. So you trust them to, give you a clean glass when you go to their house, or, you trust them to drive you somewhere or to show up for an appointment. And then as time goes on, you can learn to trust them more. You don't share your deepest, darkest secrets with anybody until you know that you can trust them. That's my personal opinion. Let me know if you want more information about that, Bonnie. I can do a video on it in the future. Narga says, so right, Tommy D. Oh God, the names he'd call me and the things he'd ask me to visualize while in bed. Grossed me out and shocked me. Disgusting narcissist. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord, for leading me to the path. Girl, I feel you. They are disgusting sometimes. And the things they want is crazy. Yeah, exactly what Frankie, you and I must be on the same wow. Who wants to be crumbs? Not I, said the fly. That's exactly something I say all the time. I literally say, oh, not I, said the fly. My husband thinks it's so weird. Where did we get that from? That's great. We must be of the same cloth. Anyway, thank you, my friend Malta, for putting that information. You were awesome. I knew I shouldn't have even asked. I shouldn't have even. Malta is so awesome, you guys. I don't know what I would do without him. He's good for all of us. Thank you, Malta. Narga says, I thank Angie for showing me to respect myself. I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a rocking job of it. Nargis, you're doing great. Proud of you, proud of you. Valkyrie says, I like her. She said she can't be in a relationship with me, but every time I try to move on, she reaches out again. Okay. Block her. Block her and move forward. She is one of those people who is literally, she wants you to be her backup person. That's what it comes down to. And you are too gorgeous for that. You don't have to do that. Don't allow yourself, like Frankie said, don't allow yourself to be crumbs. Don't allow yourself to be to accept crumbs, to accept the backup position, because you need to be a front man or front woman, a rock star. Okay. All right. But do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody deserves to be in a relationship that is healthy for them if that's what they want. And this one is not healthy for you, and you deserve better. Jamie says, and I haven't been diagnosed, but oh boy, but I'm pretty sure I've got some kind of cluster B personality disorder too. I'm pretty whacked. Jamie, what's going on? Are you sure? Is this you? What's going on? Talk to me. I'm worried. Rick Mash says, Jamie B. Camden is doing awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Rick. And talking more and more every day. She's awesome and so much fun. I'll send you pictures of her in her Halloween costume. Aw, I want to see pictures. Why won't you send me pictures, Rick Mash? Hook me up. Nargis says to throw him down the trash chute. Hey, whatever it takes, girl. Tommy D says, mine tried to introduce other men and talked about being the center of an orgy. It made me ill when I finally realized her motivation behind these strange comments and requests to meet an old flame. Yeah, that's not okay. And I mean, whatever people are into, I guess. But I try not to judge anybody. But I mean, when your significant other is not okay with whatever you're trying to do and makes that clear to you, and then, and I don't think it's really request to meet an old flame. That's weird, right? Isn't that weird? Tommy D, I'm so sorry. Val says, and then she says, I'm too nice for her one time and then I'm too mean for her another time, flip-flopping. Yeah, clearly, Val, she's messing with you and she's trying to use you. I hope you don't accept that. I'm looking at your picture. You're beautiful. You deserve somebody who loves you and respects you. And that person doesn't. Yeah. Farrah Palm says, it is so, and it doesn't matter if you're beautiful on the outside. Let me say that again. You can be beautiful on the outside and ugly on the inside, or, beautiful on the inside and maybe not society's idea of beauty on the outside. But what it all comes down to is every decent person in the world has something beautiful about them and has the right and the responsibility almost to stay with people who are not going to abuse them. I think we have a right and a responsibility to be safe and not abused if we can in any way, shape, or form avoid it as adults, which I think that we can most of the time. Farrah Palm says it is so hard to leave, and why does he like the new supply? Oh, honey, I know it's hard to leave, and I know that it would be, I'm imagining that you must be studying the new supply to find out what's different about her than you, and you must be thinking, how can I be more like her and then he'll like me? It's not true. It's not about you or her. It's about different. It's about boredom. It's about not treating people like people. It's hard to leave. I know it's hard to leave, but you deserve better. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be respected. You don't deserve to be treated like this. You don't deserve to take less than me or anybody else. You deserve to be fully, completely the center of one person's love life. And I think it has to start with yourself. Right now, you don't love yourself enough to believe that. And so if you can start to focus on what you love about yourself, that's really good. The new supply isn't going to have it any better. The new supply is only going to be good for the next, however many minutes until the narcissist finds something else wrong with her and will attack her and do the same thing he did to you for all of those years. So I just want you to know that it doesn't matter what she looks like. It doesn't matter how she acts or behaves or how good she is in the sack. All that matters is that it's not about her and it's not about you. It's about him treating you and her like objects and like extensions of himself, and neither one of you deserves it. So I don't know if she knows about you, and if she does, she's probably heard a lot of lies about you. But in any case, they're horrible to people, and they don't care that you're people. They only care that they're getting what they want, when they want, how they want, etc. Yeah. Frankie Robertson says, yes, ma'am. Indeed. Ashley says she's a sweetheart and we've done a lot together, but after we moved in together, life got real and fights got worse. She pushes and pushes and then calls me abusive when I react. What kind of fights and what kind of reactions? Ashley, tell me. Jamie B says, yes, Rick, please do. I love seeing her pretty little smile. Faith says, could you please post links to videos on going to court against a cupcake or make some? Thank you so much. I have a whole playlist about that, which I'm sure that Malta has already posted, so I will not. But certainly you can see that on my channel. And also, if you signed up for the free Life Makeover Summit, inside of that dashboard on the Life Makeover Academy, there are a couple of documents with help from Jillian, who is our tribe attorney, so to speak. Well, not really, but she is an attorney who is in our tribe and who has so kindly given us non-legal advice on this stuff. So anything she says is not to be taken as legal advice, and you are not considered a client. Just trying to help her out with her disclaimers. But yeah, check that out. And maybe if Jillian has time, we'll bring her in on one of our sessions one day so you guys can ask her some more questions. Tommy D says, Val, I would recommend getting educated by watching videos about boundaries and manipulation, and I have tons of those. Nancy Martin says, I've gone no contact with my former partner for over 2 months. He still hasn't donated my stuff that's still in his apartment. He says he would, but also that he'd email me the donation receipt. Jesus. Do you need any of that stuff? Debbie Lee said, and I'm going to keep going because I see that you put there's more to your story that I'll get to. Debbie Lee says, she says, I'm sorry. One more thing. She's putting sad emojis crying because of our relationship breakup. She wasn't before. She was actually kind of bragging and boasting about it. I don't get it. I'm telling you, girl, it has something to do with the fact that she's currently without a supply, or that the existing supply has upset or pissed her off and she's using the existence of you to upset her new supply or to show the new supply that she doesn't care about her. That's my guess. What are your thoughts? Frankie says, he won't, Nancy, let it go. Yeah. Yep, I hear you. Shannon says, Nargis, and me either, says Frankie. Faith says, we just found out that the twins' biological mother failed a hair test, and I'm so scared about their future, but it is to the point that I can't take much more. Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, I'm so sorry. I don't know what to think about that. Tell me more about that, Faith. I feel like I missed something here. Frankie says working on it. Okay. Farah says thank you to Malta. Nargis says, oh my God, Tommy D, same here. He'd asked me to visualize us having an orgy, said I turned him on. Oh my God, when I refused, he said I was the reason he was fooling around. That's bull crap. But I'll tell you something, that is actually a common narcissist thing. Whether it's they want, they have often, I'm just going to say they often have the desire to have multiple situations in intimacy, because I'm trying to make YouTube not be mad at me for talking too much about that. All right. But it's common. It is. Malta says, Farrah Palms, you're welcome. Frankie says, sorry to hear that. Faith, hugs and prayers up in Michigan. And Ashley says, I've never reacted in such a manner to other people. We've both had childhood trauma. She would often guilt me into putting the relationship before work, and now she calls me broke. Cringe. Oh, sweetie, it sounds to me like she's the narcissist. The guilting into putting relationship before work, that is commonly a narcissist behavior. The fact that you never reacted this way with other people would indicate a narcissist on her part. Both of you having had childhood trauma, that could obviously mean either one of you, both of you could be codependent. What about the empathy factor? Have you ever seen her show you empathy when it didn't benefit her to do so? Nancy Martin says he has done it. He hasn't done it. I need it for tax deduction. He was downright vile when I told him I didn't say I wanted to be friends. Should I contact his dad? He has no idea what happened between us. I mean, yeah, if you need that stuff for legal reasons, go ahead and contact his dad and say, hey, do you know if you could you ask him to please send me the receipt or whatever? Because certainly, the other thing you could probably do is have, schedule the donation, have them come to his house and let him know they're going to be here on this day. So be ready. Is that a possibility? Jamie B says, and the fact that he has no desire to control me anymore or know who I'm texting or talking with 24/7 is super hard to get used to. And sometimes I miss it and think he loves me less. So what is this about? Oh, that's just because of the fact that you spent so many years being controlled, and it's almost like similar to Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, where you sort of almost need that kind of abuse to stay functioning. It's the highs and the lows. It's the dopamine issue. I can't remember the name of the movie. There's some movie where it's a really creepy movie. I think it was Quentin Tarantino, where this woman was kidnapped and her husband somehow or another ran across her wedding ring at a pawn shop. Long story short, the pawn shop was in a small town. He tracked the ring, ended up finding out who pawned it, and found that his wife was kidnapped along with a whole bunch of other people. And he was like, he thought she was dead. It had been so long, he was about to get remarried. And or he just had gotten remarried or something. It was like Matt Dillon in the movie, I think. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, he ends up killing the captor and freeing all the women and taking his wife out of there. And then she ended up freaking out and killing him when she found out that he had killed her captor. And she thought, she wanted to be controlled. I'm not saying it's like that for you, but I am saying that is a common situation. Stockholm syndrome and trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding, Jamie B. Watch my videos on trauma bonding. Tommy says, I agree, and I think your advice is spot on for Shannon, just keeping it relatively clean for sure and garbage free. Yeah. The cluttered challenge has worked for me, but it can be overwhelming if you don't focus. Right. Another thing that I find with that, Shannon, is just, making sure there's no garbage, no food stuff around that's been, rotting or anything. Making sure that your kids can move around the house, etc. It feels good to have a clean house anyway, but I've actually talked with Shannon on Skype for sessions, and I've seen a bit of clutter, but it's not dirty. So I mean, I think as long as you're not dirty, you're okay. Clutter's okay. It's the dirty that's the problem, and the lack of resources for your children and the food and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, clean environment. Nancy Marin says, I'm afraid he'll intercept the messages I'll be sending his dad, though. His dad is a nice man. They live halfway across the country, by the way. Well, does he live with his dad? Does he have access to his dad's phone? Tommy D says, or could you just call his dad on the phone and talk to him? Tommy D says, on one thing, place, area, or room at a time. Yeah, that's right, Tommy. One at a time. Even just take 15 minutes a day. Yeah, do it in increments, like Frankie says. 15 minutes a day is great. If you take 15 minutes a day and do one thing, within a week or two, your whole house will look better, honestly. And I have a pretty big house and it still looks better when I do that. So, yeah. Frankie says, yeah, do it in increments. Okay, Narga says, you don't deserve better. Very important words. Self-love and self-worth will make us realize we deserve so much. That's right. You do deserve better. That's right. Jamie B says, Tommy, how you been? Tell me what's new with you. I like that. Bonnie says, OMG, I made excuses for the narc husband's behavior for decades. And yeah, I didn't know I was being abused. It is too freaky. I took a long time to admit the truth. Indeed. Been there, done that. Yes. Frankie Robertson says, right, Angie? Right. Shannon O'Brien says, food we've got, sheets are clean, kids' rooms are okay, the house is mostly clean, but there's clutter. We have very little money, thinking we need this possibly for the lawyer. Yeah, you know what? You're not doing anything wrong. It's as long as it's mostly clean and there's clutter, that's like a lived-in house. So take your time, do the clutter thing when you got a minute, and you're fine. As long as the kids have clean clothes, clean sheets, food to eat that's clean on clean dishes. Clutter, they don't care about clutter. I'm sure of it. I can't imagine they would care about clutter. I mean, I just can't. I don't think clutter is an issue. I think as long as you can walk through the house, there's not trash everywhere. I mean, your sheets are clean, your laundry's done. Who cares? Just stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. Keep documenting your mother's behavior, and keep records. Consider a restraining order that could possibly be a thing. I know David is here, or he was here, so I don't know if he's still here, but if he is still here, David, any advice you have for Shannon about getting a restraining order against her elderly narcissist mother? What are the possibilities as far as you know? I know you're not in the same state, but any ideas would be helpful on that if you're still here. Rick Mash says, Jamie B, is probably because you are used to him doing that. It's going to take a little time to get over that routine. Yeah, absolutely. Loving Myself says, is it okay to give my ex-narc a time daily to call our son? Because I've gone no contact or gray rock, and then he's blocked again all the time to allow his son to talk to the next day. Yeah, it's okay. And the other thing is, Loving Myself, I want you to look into, I did a video about 7 apps that you can use to facilitate parallel parenting with a narcissist. Take a look at that video. Maybe one of those apps would give you a better solution as well. How old is your son? Narga says, oh, thank you so much, Frankie. Frankie Robertson says, hey, Rick. My narc's ex name is Rick. That's great. Shannon O'Brien says, Jessica Rose, the silent treatment is awful. You are wondering what is wrong with no answer. Yeah, well, it is awful. It is. Yeah. And Jamie B says, you're probably right, Rick, but then I start getting jealous and suspicious, like, what? You don't love me the same anymore? And then I feel crazy. But overall, I'm happy. You're human, Jamie B, and it is a lot like Stockholm syndrome. Certainly, yeah. Tamara Lynn says, yes, on point. That's exactly what happens. You're in a dream, good times, wake up in a literal nightmare. I think writing down the reasons for leaving is very important also. Thanks, Ange. My pleasure, Tamara. And Jamie says, hey, Tammy, how you, girl? Shannon O'Brien says, you don't matter enough to get an answer. My mother would do this when I was little, and it was horrible. Yeah. Yeah. And Frankie says, and then we start to feel like this person is as bad as we can say. Why doesn't Bomb want, why he doesn't love Bomb, feel low self-esteem? I think that was maybe a typo, but I get the idea. Yeah. Bonnie says, it's hard to put your finger on emotional psychological abuse. Yeah, it is. Okay, wait a minute. Bonnie. Okay, boy, we have so many. Sorry, guys, I lost my place here. I thought that was a really good comment. Bonnie, okay. It's hard to put your finger on emotional psychological abuse. which is true. Worse yet, when you discover the truth about narcissists and you tell it to flying monkeys they are clueless and they deny that it's abuse. Yeah, because it's hard to explain it, even, in my opinion. Frankie says, I never wanted to believe it before until I met a narcissist. I feel you, Frankie. Rose Hargrove says, my son continues to be abusive, but it looks different to me now. I see his sadness. I understand that too. And seeing the sadness is because you're probably an empath, but also, and it's hard because you're his mother, but you've got to, despite what you see, you have to understand that you deserve to not be abused. And so if he is doing any of that to you, you have the right to step away a little bit and claim your space. You do not have to tolerate abuse, even from your children, especially when they're adults. Yeah. Rick Mash says, Frankie, I promise to not be like him, but I don't but I don't think my name is jinxed. Oh, that's great. Nargis says, okay, lovely friends, Malta and all here, and Angie, dearest sister, I'm off to meet my younger son and give him the tightest hug ever. He has come a long way, very smart, hardworking, respectful, and loving young man. I love that, Nargis. Give him a hug for me too. I'll see you later, sister. All right. And Shannon O'Brien says, glad to hear Jamie B is good. Bye, Nargis. Bonnie says, my son asked me, did dad hit you? Then I said no, and he said, then it's not abuse. Because he's not educated. Because he's not educated. It is abuse. You know it's abuse. Unfortunately, your son invalidated you, but it is abuse. It's abuse. Does anyone doubt here that it's abuse? Yeah. Frankie says, right, Bonnie, then we meet somebody like Angie who takes us out of the fog. So grateful. Yeah, indeed. Thank you, Frankie. Let's see here. All right. Tommy D says, the silent treatment is awful, and I'd watch my narc do it to her children until they would bow down to her control or bend to her will. It is beyond rotten, a clear tactic and manipulation. Recognize it. Yeah. Watch my videos on that too. Yeah. Debbie Lee says, I posted on Facebook that I started my first day exercising. Her reply, I know you can do it, sweetheart. I hope you don't give up on it like you gave up on me. Oh my God. That is blatant hoovering, Debbie Lee. That is blatant hoovering. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't let her be on your Facebook anymore. Can I tell you one more time? Please block her. Please block her. Please block her. Okay, moving right along. Julia Richardson says, and also, by the way, that was a backhanded compliment. Just because she threw the word sweetheart in there, saying, I hope you don't give up on it like you gave up on me. I think that's a bunch of bull crap. I think that is a backhanded way of saying you're going to fail. I hope you do it just because, and I hope you do it with her blocked and without concern for her and without even worrying about her in your life, because she does not deserve you, girl. All right. Julia Richardson says, I'm here. I don't feel like talking much, but I'm learning a lot about how to get out and away from the narcissist mother and type B personalities. Well, I'm so glad to hear that, Julia, and welcome back as always. Talk when you want. Don't talk when you don't want. We don't mind. Just be here with us. Thank you, Julia. Frankie says, Bonnie, that's very true. Angie has helped tremendously. Thank you, Bonnie. And Frankie agrees. Tommy says, thanks for coming, Julia. And Bonnie says, the silent treatment was and is my narc's favorite form of abuse. Hey, Bonnie, you know how to, you know how to make a narcissist not continue the silent treatment? Enjoy it. Pretend like it's not happening. Act like you don't care and you're happy and just enjoy your life. That's the best way. Just saying. Okay. And Frankie says, I learned that I had to provide closure for myself because waiting for a narcissist to provide closure is almost impossible. Yes, more than almost. Pretty much is impossible. I mean, you could wait forever if you wanted to, but what's the point of wasting your life anymore? You know? Absolutely the right thing, Frankie. Shannon says, Kirsten Mills, I'm so sad to hear that. I hope your kids are coping okay. When my mother abused my children with words, it is so hard to deal with. Or my mother abused my children with words. It is so hard to deal with when they abuse our children. It is. And you know, it brings that mother, you know, that inner mama bear out. And my mama bear is ferocious, but she's also scared of prison, so she shuts up a lot. But when it comes to things, but in real life, I would never want to hurt anybody, but I fully understand the angst that it causes. And literally my instinct when I hear that the little girl across the street or down the street punched my daughter in her face, my instinct is I want to go hurt that child. I can't do it. But that I think that's common. I think it's our mother thing that we do. We feel like I want to hurt whoever hurt, or I want to stop them or make them be accountable. And I mean, I guess I could try to call the cops on a little girl that punched my daughter in the face, but my daughter probably outweighs her by 20 pounds and you know, and can handle her own. They were just playing. It was just a thing that happened. They were boxing with boxing gloves, but I still felt really offended by it. Anyway, I guess my point is I fully relate to that feeling, and it's even worse when there's an actual narcissist involved. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more, then I'm going to wrap up because I just realized I'm over time and I've got other stuff I've got to get done today and a couple of client calls. So Bonnie says, I'm still in a boundaries 101 level, so to speak, but I'm slowly making progress. Hey, I'm proud of you, Bonnie. Every step is a step toward your freedom and your peace and you being autonomous. Thank you. Keep going. Farrah Palm says, Angie, you are a pleasure to know. Thank you, Farrah. I appreciate you very much. And I am pleasure to know you or to meet you. Carrie Parker says, all of my narcissist ex are continually in my dreams, even after no contact. Years have passed and now I'm engaged and happy, but the dreams keep lingering around. Should I try hypnosis? Hypnosis could be a positive thing. I think maybe part of the issue might be trying to work through whatever issues are left, and why that would be something that would be holding you back. And I think I just saw something you said later in the chat. Yeah, she said, I think it's because the sex was amazing. Well, if your current situation is that the sex isn't as amazing, maybe you could work on a way to improve that or something, or figure out what specifically it was about the other situations that you liked better and work on that. And if you continue to focus on this person, maybe you want to not jump into a marriage with your current person until you're sure that you're not just, sometimes I think we focus on the past because we're not really committed to what our current situation is. Is that possible? Or is it nightmares? What kind of dreams are we talking about? Hey, Adrian, how you doing, honey? Bonnie says, I was raised by a narcissist mother, had an older narcissist sister, and then I married a narc. It is certainly predictable, isn't it, though? I know, right? All right. Rupa K is here. Hey, Rupa. Says, I feel like 20 years has come crashing down on me recently. All the question marks and intuitive hints that I had all make sense now. I was too sick to see it, but I'm getting strong now. Hey, I feel you, and I'm proud of you. Congratulations on your realization. It's not going to be super easy right now, but it will get better. Knowing the truth does help you get to the overcoming part. Now you've discovered it, you're working on understanding it, and pretty soon you can overcome it. Keep at it. It's worth it, I promise. Yeah. Tommy D says, learning what narcs did while I was getting the silent treatment made me literally ill. The right thing for me to do was to go no contact. It is the only thing I could do to be okay. Yeah. That is exactly what I'll be talking about in my next video. So stay tuned for that. It should be out in a couple hours as soon as I finish editing it. Yeah. Shannon says, David H., it would be totally fictitious. We are good parents. She might call to retaliate for us going no contact and calling police to take her home after she spent 4 hours on our porch. Yeah, that's the thing. I know it would be totally fictitious. I have no doubt about that. In the state of Missouri, they determined that in my situation that it was a revenge call, and and they didn't do anything. But that was not the police that determined that. It was the person who was with the agency that was sent out. So I don't know. Frankie says there's a good book out called Where to Draw the Line by Anne Catherine to develop escape plan. Great. Yeah, and like I've said, Frankie and Bonnie, if you go to queenbeing.com/plan, there is, and Bonnie, I don't know if it would all apply because I know that you are, your children are not children anymore, but a lot of the stuff in the plan will help you. Yeah. Farrah says, Angie, I'm starting to find pictures on Facebook with them looking happy. Oh, honey, stop looking. Stop looking. It's not worth it. You deserve better than that. I promise. David H says, Shannon, if it's completely without merit, then the CPS investigators should file a police report. Well, they didn't in my case, and they did close the case the same day. So, I mean, the CPS case, but that was Missouri, so I don't know if it has anything to do with that. But anyway, Muffy says, blessed after, of course, this was several years ago too, so maybe the laws have changed. Muffy says, blessed afternoon to all. Hey there, hi there, ho there, Angie. Hey, Muffy, how you doing, honey? Welcome back. Tiffany says, yay, I didn't miss you. Hey, Tiffany, how you doing, girl? Shannon says, David, I hope she won't do that, but seeing what Angie went through with that, I just want to have my ducks in a row. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Rupa says, how do you recommend I behave while biding my time? I have the divorce agreement going to him at the end of this week and may have a month or two until hopefully we settle. With ease and grace is the intention. Yeah, I suggest that you stay calm, stay focused. Don't show him any emotion, um, or show very little emotion. If you need to speak to him in person, look at his forehead or his mouth, not in his eyes. Um, Ease and grace is the way to go. Stay strong, stay focused. Find something to keep you busy, while you're biding your time if you need to. If you're not otherwise busy, I would just say dig into your life, work on your self-esteem. Don't give him any sort of emotional anything during this time. Get the divorce done, get it settled, and move forward. That's my suggestion. Yep. All right, guys. I am going to wrap up now, and I will be here. Yeah. David says, document everything, every little thing, even if it seems unimportant, and good luck. All right, y'all. Big hugs, big love to everybody. Feel free to continue chatting here in this chat until YouTube shuts it down. I will be, and as always, you can join SPAN if you need additional support outside of these sessions. So you can, which is our free online support group, queenbeing.com/SPAN for more information. I will be here later today with a video, and I will be here tomorrow morning for our usual session. So thank you so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. Thank you for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. And Malta, as always, thank you so much for being here and helping me out. I will see you guys soon. Have a lovely Tuesday. Is this Tuesday? Have a lovely Tuesday. Talk to me Tuesday. Twice on Tuesdays. Okay. Bye, guys. Talk to you soon.